Hey everybody, Ben here. Thanks for being here. Thanks for showing up for yourself each and every day. So if you're here from the short, you already have a backstory. If not, our word was premature. And this came in real heavy in a tone of uh, intuitively, we knew something was coming, something was being prepared for us, an experience, a situation. We really embodied that. We believed that. We moved forward with that. We may have made decisions, direction, choices, removals, bringing things in, pushing them away, whatever it was surrounding this future, this fated event in our mind. And time passed and nothing came of it. It never showed up. And through that experience, we may have lost a lot of trust, more connected to that belief. We embodied something, that belief, and then it failed us, if we will. We may still dabble in the idea of hope and faith around it, but everything proves different. And within this, depending on what it was, how it was connected to, and how it directed us, we very well may even hold a bit of resentment or anger around this. That trust is also not just connected in the external, God source divine, but also inside our intuition, what we believe that connection was. And we feel it may have failed us. And within that, that's a really hard thing to build back up. We had two supporting angel number cards. When I was shuffling the deck, there was one that was upright, but I couldn't see what it was. I said, well, we'll see if this is meant for it, once I get the card that popped out. And the card that popped out was a Sacred Match. This goes into vibrating in harmony, collaboration, keep going, balance, planting seeds, union. This is talking about whatever this was that we felt like 100% or 110, like it was inevitable. This is coming. I feel it. I have all the proof. I know it. It's meant for me. And we're going to get into this a bit later, but I'll touch on it real quickly just with timelines. That is real, whatever it was. It is there. It is happening as always. And that's what we were feeling. We were so close to that uh, line transfer, if we will, jumping that timeline, moving into that energy, whatever it was. That's why we felt it. And I'm not saying it's gone, but this whole message is probably going to surround the idea of getting to it, breaking through the blockage or the transfer that we have met ourselves in. That card that was sticking upright that I don't want to say put the word refuse is coming up, that I refuse to accept or pull forward is confidence. And that goes into staying on the path, don't waver, keep going, take small steps, encouragement. I almost felt quite emotional there when I heard keep going. And this is that feeling of really being let down and that confidence. Where did that go? We had that. That's what was leading it in the whole beginning. And nothing came to prove it. Where is it again? And I get this. I've lived this before. I know how it feels. And depending on what it was around, uh, you could feel very slated, if that's the right word, uh, angry, a bit appalled that, where did this come from? This information that was so true, and how could it be or have been so misleading? But there is a huge connection here. If we really look at whatever it is that was coming, that we were expecting, that we knew we were moving forward towards, and we still feel it a bit inside, like we're not. It wasn't like a 1 day thing. Like we're talking like we knew this for weeks, months, maybe even years, depending on what it's connected to. It's very real. It won't go away. And what is it surrounded by? And maybe if those decisions that we made to make the door open further in our mind, we thought, we will prepare for this, uh, bringing things in, removing things, moving physically, changing ourselves, letting go of certain behaviors or habits to get to this space that we thought was going to open that door further. What was connected to that? Where did we end up? And really looking at what all would it take to be on that other side of that timeline, to hold that, to experience that. What may we still be holding on to or dangling onto that may be preventing that? But through that process of getting to where we are now, I mean, we can logically do this in our mind. Would have I been able to see or get to what I have to see or release to get on the other side of that timeline if I didn't make the steps I already made? And maybe I had to make those steps to see something differently, to finally make that transition. There's a lot going on here naturally through these processes. And we probably just see it like, hey, I'm here. I'm not really happy with this situation, or I want to go somewhere else, or I want to experience something else, and I just want that. But energetically, can we fully get there? Can we fully embody that? And this is getting into the insecurities, the habits, the limiting mindsets, the uh, our self-view, possible wounds that we have inside that all kind of connect here. Uh, there was something else I do want to talk about this, and it's not. I don't feel like it's connected to this message, but it's just food for thought moving forward. Sometimes when we seek a lot of guidance, we seek a lot of information from the other side, whether on a personal level, just with our guides or whomever we're connected with, or we are going out to practitioners for the same thing, or watching a lot of videos online trying to find answers, and say uh, it is a real message. It's not just algorithm junk. It is a real deal, and it's a real message. And we take that and we identify with that. We grab a hold of it. We're going to believe that, and we're going to walk our life like that now, knowing that, and say that never comes true, or it never pans out, or it doesn't come to fruition. Through that process, there was something that was fated with us, and we can look at that as it's on a different timeline, and it may not be far to get there. But were we ready to know that? Were we ready to have that? And this is where this self-sabotage comes in. And it doesn't have to be something physical. It doesn't have to be something drastic in our mind. It's like, oh, wow, that's for me. And then in our back of our mind, we don't even have to connect the dot to that item or that experience, but we start to stir up these insecurities, these wounds, these uh, framework of the identity as we see or have seen ourselves, and how that may not work or fit. And we start to push it away, and not because we don't want it, or maybe we don't feel like we can have it, but there's things buried inside of us that we aren't even aware of, and how quickly we can sabotage these things and redirect ourselves to not get there. But by not knowing, we inevitably end up in these spaces. This is often I speak of when we're trying to manifest, we are trying to lead with an emotion and not so much this cookie cutter imagery of how it should look. Because sometimes when we want it to look that certain way, it's for that insecurity, it's for that wound. It has no connection to the emotion. It's what we think is going to make us feel that way because we're in that state working out of an insecurity or a wound, if we will. We can really damage that. This boyfriend or girlfriend has to look this way or have X, Y, or Z because I want that to be portrayed a certain way, reflection of me with other people, or job related, how I'm seen to the external is all these connections that we may not think we lead with, but yet the wound or the insecurity is making these decisions, and we take it as truth. So regardless, that was a side tangent. We're getting back to rebuilding this trust. this confidence that what we knew was true and is true, and it is there, and it was fated, it is sacred, it is a match, it is in resonance with us. But why aren't we there yet? Why has that jump or that transition on that line not taken place yet? This is where a lot of personal reflection needs to come in. Of it may be hard to remember back, depending on how far along it has been, but when did this start coming in? What were we struggling with in our life? Or what were we going through some death cycles with? You know, new awakenings or being reborn, however we want to term it. What was taking place at that time when this hit came in, when this intuitive information or message came in that probably felt like a bit of a savior? It felt like a saving experience. This is going to come in. Thank God. I need this. This is going to make it all better. Or this is really going to put me, uh, you know, fast track me to where I want to be. What was going on? What were we removing ourselves from? And through that process, I'm sure it brought a peace of mind. It made things feel better. It made, I'm going to get out of this shithole or this situation and everything's going to transition better. And again, I don't know time. I'm not putting time on anything here, but depending on how long it has been to find yourself here now, where are we at now in comparison to what we were going through or what we were transitioning through? And did we improve naturally? Was the improvement all due to this expectation? Did we go into more hardship through that period to purge more? That's a great sign that all this extra purging, okay, well, I went through this and then I found more, or something else came up. We had to get through that. So it's a lot of a purging cycle to get to that purification state to move into this new line. And I'm not saying so much this to speed things up, but it is more to understand why we may be in this process, to be able to rebuild this, to not let it go, to not carry that if you do, as I explained before, a bit of resentment, losing that trust, rebuilding this again, and knowing that and it's not so much shame or blame, but it's like I wasn't in an energetic space to move forward into this space, because maybe that holds a lot of responsibility. Maybe I needed a lot of confidence that I didn't quite have at that time because of X, Y, or Z. Oh, we got the Six of Swords reversed. Hesitance. I was going to put it right underneath confidence. So that I'm, I can't even talk. I don't even think like we won't even want to like touch the subject anymore. It's really been let down, and this let down, what's that word? I guess abandonment. Like I've been abandoned on my own radar detection system. Like what I knew was true has failed me, and that's like I feels worse than just being like neglected or abandoned by a family member or a friend, because we just view that as a person. And okay, well, they're just a shitty person if that was the case. But here, this was me, or if this was my spirit team or God, like I, you're all I got. And I put everything into this. I trusted this. You, whatever we want to qualify it as, and you shit on me. You dropped the ball, like you abandoned me, you left me here. And to rebuild that is extremely difficult. The signs probably won't appear like, hey, it's okay, I'm sorry, like that's not going to take place. It's a different interaction. This is really coming down to, I'm pretty sure I touched on it before, but really understanding the process of what we may have had to go through or release or heal. And that's why it's not here yet. It's right there. But there's something that we still had to go through. We still had to see to change that frequency within ourselves. Queen of Pentacles reversed. Neglect. Looking at this as whatever it is within us, that that insecurity, that fear, that lack mentality, just a belief in general that it has to be done this way, it can't go this way. This very structured view on processes, how things pan out, how things work, logical comparison, looking at society and how things work, how everything is proven to us, how it has to go. This programming, this conditioning, whether on a larger scale or a smaller scale, that's just naturally taking place by what we see, we believe, we embody that. That is our experience. How does all that tie together? And I'm not saying we get completely delusional, but you have to be to an extent to break some of these. And eventually, once we start going through that process, we'll see the proof that it is taking place. The transition, the different belief system is changing once we do that. Granted, as the mirror works, what we believe in here is going to go out. And that external is going to show us what we believe about ourselves, about our situation, about anything. And that it is hard to change at times. But we often say, well, everything out there is showing me it. Well, no, it's because I don't believe it. So there's going to be this heavy resistance in the beginning because you have to get to that delusional state a bit. Because as I'm seeing it, I see whatever's reflecting here on my computer screen. And that's showing me what I look like right now, what my hands are doing. I have to get to that delusional space to start this. And I'm not saying we stop caring for ourselves or we do things that put others or ourselves in harm's way or make foolish financial decisions or health decisions or against the law. It is breaking this programming or this conditioning of as we've perceived everything. And through that process, we have to have that delusional state in the beginning. We can still be anchored in both. We can be anchored in the logic and the spirit, the delusion, the magic, however we want to look at it. And through this process, we'll if we do it, we can finally start to see how the external is going to start changing. Because I think it's certainly around a belief. It has to be. Everything is. That's all it is. The whole experience is as we perceive. Temperance reversed. Underneath the Queen of Pentacles reversed. Disharmony. And next to the Six of Swords, hesitance. For some reason, it's like making this a right angle. You know, the two things of what did I talk about in the hesitance? The trust, and then as we perceive. That's a very difficult experience. How can I trust this if I'm not seeing it? Seeing is believing. Well, it's believing is seeing. That's the reversal here. And it's making the right angle, the point, if we will, of the problem. Uh, that's a personal situation. It is, and I'm not saying it like you're the problem. It is. There's nothing I can just say to make it all better. There's nothing that we can just say one word and it all goes away. This is everyone's situation is different because everyone's going through something different or they want to get to somewhere different. But at the same token, our conditioning or our programming of as we perceive the experience is different as well. And I believe in the beginning I spoke on how uh, there's certain parts of us that are hidden that we don't even know that are affecting this. And how can we regain that trust without belief, without seeing, without proof, without validation, especially when we led with all that and it let us down? It's uh, through that process, personally, I would have gotten let down. I would have went through that emotions aspect, and then I got grounded. I got situated. I got back to square one, and I balanced everything out. And then I moved forward with saying, okay, uh, I'm gonna do something. Uh, I'm gonna take care of the situation, whatever it's surrounding. The dream is still there. I'm moving towards it, but through this process, uh, I know it's still there, but clearly there's something that I need to change energetically. And I just focused on that. But I'm still living in the experience as it is. I'm not wholeheartedly focused on whatever it may have been that was turned into a letdown, that was known. We're just moving forward and really focusing on self. What is that belief? What still needs changed? And it that wheel will continuously turn uh, forever, I would imagine, because when we just keep moving forward or moving up in this evolution as it is. We'll get one last card here. We got two. So we got the Seven of Cups reversed, discernment, and we got the Five of Swords that came out sideways, confrontation and reconciliation. Uh, this is giving this balancing experience. We can reconcile, or we can confront, or sorry, confrontation. That feels more like now when we lost this trust. Uh, this is this balancing. We could be angry, we can fight it, or we could just forgive it and move on. But in the middle, with discernment, we're moving forward. The opposite is dreams and desires. This is all this balancing aspect. I feel more like being here in the middle also touches on the understanding of the situation. Obviously, we have an emotional response no matter what part of our life, but oh, sometimes people respond with anger right away. It's the first thing to do. It upset us somehow. And then maybe through time we cool down or calm down. And then maybe even later in time, we understand why that may have taken place. If we're on a healing experience, obviously. So we could have that anger and that frustration. And the understanding aspect of it is knowing that, hey, I actually had to go in this direction, and I had to, that delay was for a reason. And in a lot of videos, I hate hearing that. It's kind of annoying because, like, I'm not doing enough. I haven't gone through this period enough. But what actually comes of it, it does all make sense. It does all add up. It's probably more or less on that aspect that something was hidden that we weren't aware of. But with this discernment, this is moving from that grounded space. We are not living all in the dreams and the desires, and we're not living all in the old world before we awoken to everything and anything that changed the perception in comparison to uh, the rest of, or the majority of the world. We are in between both. And I personally feel like that's the walk that we have to have. Sure, we could be in the Delulu 24/7 and maybe using substances to go the extra mile there. But where's their movement? Where's their growth in that experience? There would be none. And if we went all the way back hard into the 3D, completely closed off and just in the machine that it is, we wouldn't be growing at all there either. So in the middle, we live, we survive, we enjoy this experience that we have been presented with, while also evolving and healing to get to a higher plane of experience here on this walk. Gonna leave it there. Hang in there. What you did believe, what you did experience, what you knew to be true was true. It was real, and it is real. It is a match for you. It is there. That confidence we had in the beginning, maybe it just needed to be grounded a bit more. And through this process, that is it. Uh, Not saying that it had to do with the idea of being saved, but some of those things that do come in do touch on that. It does make it all go away. And through this delay, we actually have to heal it, the need for it. And then inevitably, it shows up because we are the energetic match to it now, because we're not in the lack. We've created it or healed it on our own. I'll leave this here. If this resonated, feel free to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later. See you.